This is your number one baby daddy, MrNoGood of MrNoGood.com. I'm happy to see y'all here on a Saturday night. I'm out. Instead of being out kicking it. Again. I'm here talking to y'all. I'm kind of missing kicking it. I really want to start going out and kicking it. At least one of these nights on the weekend. Last weekend was nice. Homegirl came through last Saturday. And had a good time. So I felt a lot better. But you know, it's been a week, so hey. I want to kick it again. I hit her up. On the messenger, I said, "How's that pussy hanging?" I can be graphic like that. Because I want to know how that pussy hanging. She called me later on. She was like, "It's okay. It's kind of sad. You made it happy last Saturday." Yes, I know I made it happy, baby. I'll make your pussy happy. Good, sweet, clean tasting pussy. I like it. Nice, big, soft, pillowy breasts. Nipples nice to suck on. Squeeze on everything. Skin soft and brown. Pretty lips, big brown eyes. Little bubbly smile. I don't know. I was just talking to her. I was thinking maybe I didn't feel like having her over tonight. But hey, I may. Why not? I ain't got nothing else to do once I get through talking to you. Hey, Travis Gibson, what's going on? Now, this podcast basically is talking about how if a man asks you to leave his house, if he takes the time out to tell you to leave his house multiple times, it's your job as a woman to leave the house. Gotta leave the house. You don't leave the house, you could end up beat up or dead. But when a nigga is acting up, it's kind of warning you. Or when a female's acting up, it's kind of warning you. Like with my baby mom. She got a job working at home. Hold on, Yeah, she got a nice little gig working at home for an insurance company. So they have open enrollment, and it's up through December where you can open enroll for, I guess, for your insurance for the next year. So she got it set up in her little living room over there in Niggerville. You know, the subsidized apartments, but she set up nice. And got the little camera facing her in the balcony and everything. So, but she only needs that when she's talking to the people at the actual job, at the insurance company. Other than that, she's on the phone, run through her computer. She typing everything. Everything's cool. It's a dream. And it's hard for her to keep work. And some of y'all that have known me for years already know about that. And we're not going to go into that here. So, she works till 6:30 p.m. Because you have to get you have to log into the computer and your time is logged. So you can't just be BSing or whatever. You have to actually log into this computer so it records your time. And I know, like, she'll wait till, like, if she gets off at 6:30, I think she's allowed to clock out at 6:28 and still get all her time. So that's what she was doing. I come in there this Thursday. This past Thursday. I come in there to bring my kid over there because she's going to spend the night over there. So I come in, since she has see, what they don't like is, the company doesn't like for you to have where a camera's facing a door. So if you have to do video chat, somebody can't just walk in and you just whatever. They don't want to see people walking in and out of a door. So she has it facing the other way, but she's on the other side of the living room. Everything's fine. I show up on Thursday a little bit early. Normally I'm supposed to wait till like around 6:30 till after 6:30, but since I know the camera's not facing the door, I can just come on in there whenever, as long as I'm not making noise. So I come in there. She was just about to get off. It was like 6:20, something like that. She was talking to somebody and had a little headscarf on and a t-shirt, so I know she wasn't on camera. But she was talking, well, what is your medication and how many milligrams and what is your preferred pharmacy? And all of this stuff came up nice and easy. And she's just clicking on the computer. I'm like, all right, that's cool. She doing her thing. I know she don't like to get up and go to work, but she's hanging in here. It's not a hard commute. All she got to do is commute from her bedroom to the living room. So it ain't hard. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's good. She doing good. I'm glad she's doing better. But she hasn't been doing well in a long time. So I'm starting to think that maybe it was me that was causing all of these problems. Now, even though I'm not saying it was my fault, because it's not, but I think it was still me. And I'm going to explain how I think it was me that was causing all these problems. Even though it had nothing to do with it, that doesn't mean it's my fault. Doesn't mean it's my fault. I'm just saying it was me. So I get home and I'm in the kitchen talking to my mama, and my mama asked how she was, and I'm like, oh, she's doing pretty good. She's doing her job and everything like that, and maybe it was me that was causing all of those problems. Maybe it was me. She said, it's not your fault. Now, for my mama to say that, my mama will always try to blame something on me. So for her to say that, oh, it's not your fault, and it isn't my fault, but it's still gonna be me. But she's doing just fine. She's doing great, actually. And I'm proud and happy. Then Friday rolls around. Since my daughter spent the night on Thursday night, and they spent the day over there because my daughter is in school online. She just brings her laptop over there and goes to school online. So I get over there around 6 p.m. and she works till 6:30. I walk in the house because I have a key to the house. I walk in the house. I look at the computer's right there in the living room. The computer was off. Well, it was inactive. Nobody's sitting there. My daughter is in the room. She's about ready to go. I go all the way to the back to her bedroom. She's in the bed, sleep. Passed out sleep. So I wake her up. I say, hey, get up. You supposed to be working. Get up. She's like, huh? You know, like anybody, if you went in a nice deep sleep and somebody wake you up telling you to do something, you kind of incoherent. Everybody's incoherent when they first wake up. So it ain't just her. Everybody's incoherent when they first wake up. So she was incoherent. She's like, yeah, I'm getting ready to go where I'm going. I'm like, you're supposed to be sitting in a living room in front of that computer logged in. But she wasn't. So she says, well, starts getting loud and everything. Well, everything's going to be, I'll handle it and I'll take care of it and everything's going to be fine. That's the one word you don't want to hear come out of my baby mama's mouth is the word fine. Because fine means fucked up. In never ever. That's what it means. It's all bad when she says the word fine. It is never fine to miss work. Especially when your commute is maybe between 15 and 20 steps. And you pass the kitchen on the way to your job site. You can walk in bare feet, flip-flops. I got on flip-flops right now. Some old raggedy flip-flops. And then you go to your nice little computer and the laptop that they sent you and the webcam that they sent you. And you go and work your little job and log in and get your money. You don't lay in your bed, sleep. It is not fine. And that's when I realized how it was me. Because in the previous life, if the woman had a job and didn't feel like going to work that day, felt like staying in the bed and chilling and doing whatever she felt like doing, it directly affected me because we shared the same roof. The landlord don't care about our problems. The electric company, the utilities company, the water company, everybody, nobody cares about what we going through or who felt like going to work and not going to work. All they want is their money. But when you have somebody that you share the roof with who don't give a damn, knowing that the other person will cover the bills somehow, some way. That's what I was going through. That's where the stress came from, and that's where the friction came from. If I'm in the house and you not going to work and we trying to get some bills paid and you want to sit up here and get on my nerves and not bring no money in here knowing that I got to pay the bills anyway, that's where the stress came from. That's where the friction came from, because she got belligerent with me when I was over there asking why wasn't she up working and how it isn't fine. She gets belligerent with me. The friction came from when she gets belligerent with me and we share the same roof. But when she got belligerent with me there at her subsidized apartment, you know how much she got to pay for rent? $100. $100. $100. No gas bill. You get PIP for your electricity, so you can blast it. That's $43. So it's $100 for rent, $43 for electricity, $10 for AT&T internet, $153 a month. Right now, I don't know how long she'll be paying $100 a month for her rent, but right now her total bills, because she don't have a water bill neither, for rent, electricity, and internet, $153 a month. Nigga, you can roll your neck. You only paying $153 a month. Nigga, if I feel like going to work, I'll go to work. It's fine. It's fine. But now I'm not there. She ain't coming over here. And that's the friction. And that's why I haven't been on for so many years. Because instead of being able to be away from her, without the stress on my brain of the water bill, that high water bill, and the cable, and everything like that, there's always those kind of bills on you. But when you have somebody that ain't doing shit, living off of what you paying for, it's a whole lot worse then. So now I'm over here, I'm able to do this little podcast, do this little videos. I'm putting out some, I'm coming with a new product, baby. And it's gonna take the market by storm. Because I have my mind focused on something else. Instead of that in my house. That was the friction, and that's how it was me. So that's enough I'm talking about that. For y'all that were listening to the Patreon, I made this. Where I said I found my old porn site hard drive. I knew I was going to get in trouble for it, but I made it unlisted. Boom, they deleted it. But since I had the link, I was able to find it and still do it because I put it up on here. They took it down. I wasn't able to download the video. However, I was able to come up, get a little screen capture. I know it has this big watermark across it, but it's better than not having it. It's a great little video going back in the days. 2013, way from 2002 up to 2013. But 2002, 2003, like this right here, this was the boudoir. Man, I had it going on, running that. So if you on Patreon, you can see it. You can see Wiggles and Flapjacky and Boobzilla and Track Running Tay-Tay and all the good ones. Not all the good ones, because some of them, all of them, I had them naked. Just straight naked. I shouldn't have had that. But hey, I found it. I was able to get it. So if you're on Patreon, you're able to see this. And it's hosted. It's not hosted on Patreon. So, I mean, it's not hosted on YouTube. So you can watch it whenever. Great video. And Wiggles. And Money. All the good ones. So y'all can come on that Patreon. Also, you'll be able to soon go to blackvaginafinder.com and find the link to my clip site. So I'm selling these old porn videos, and the reason I did it was because I got like a check for $400 unexpectedly. Somebody went to that clip site. Still on the domain, blackvaginafinder.com. Hey, might as well go to that, send it to that clip site, make some more money, baby. So if you like it, go to blackvaginafinder.com. You can see some of the old porn, and I'm gonna put more up because I got my hard drive. I found it, so that'll be up. Now we're gonna go on to Nicole Brown Simpson. All right. Says Nicole Brown Simpson's secret diaries reveal the horrific abuse she suffered at the hands of OJ Simpson before she was murdered. Nicole Simpson recounted the horrific abuse she suffered at the hands of OJ Simpson. She wrote that he once screamed at her, "Get out my fucking house, you fat ass liar." Keep that in mind. Get out my fucking house. In scratchy handwriting, she wrote how he first beat her up in 1978 and punched and kicked her in their hotel room for hours while she tried to escape. The diaries reveal a chilling pattern of abuse until Simpson allegedly murdered Nicole and her friend Ron Goldman in 1994. He allegedly murdered Nicole and her lover, Ron Goldman. Simpson was acquitted of killing them both. Documents feature an OJ Nicole, blah, 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 blah. Tanya Brown, Nicole's sister, believes she may have kept the diaries because she suspected her husband might kill her. Now, let me tell you something. He said out of his own mouth, "Get out my fucking house, you fat ass liar." Did she get out of the house? Did she leave? She talking about how he beat her up in 1978 and punched and kicked her in their hotel room for hours while she tried to escape in 1978. You got to that door eventually. You're with a black man in 1978, even if it's OJ. All you got to do as a pretty young white girl is cry and wail and scream. They would have stomped that nigga into the sidewalk, OJ Simpson or not, to save that pretty young white girl. However, she couldn't escape the hotel room for hours. That's bullshit. For the next 16 years, the abuse included flipping out into a jealous rage and smashing her car up, throwing her against walls, and repeatedly leaving her blackened and bruised. Yet here she is, chilling. One time, Simpson beat her so badly that he tore her sweater and her socks off her body, while another time he screamed at her, "I have a gun in my hand. Get the fuck out of here." He keeps telling you, get out of his house, but you won't leave. There's one little entry in 1978. Oh yeah, that's the started on a street corner of NYC, 5th Avenue at about. She threw me on the floor, hit me, kicked me. He went to Sherry Nail Netland Hotel, where he continued to beat me for hours as I kept crawling for the door. How did you get in the door? From a street corner of NYC inside the door. Now you're trying to crawl to the door. Now you're trying to crawl to the door. Hawaii, gay man kissed Justin. OJ threw me against walls in our hotel and on the floor, put bruises on my arms and back. The window scarred me, thought he'd throw me out. She thought he'd throw her out, meaning she had no intention of leaving. This is in her own handwriting. First entry from 78 shows that Nicole was already realizing her fairy tale boyfriend and future husband had a dark side. There you go. So why you still there? 'Cause you wanted some of his dick. That's what you wanted. You wanted some of his money and his fame, and to do nothing, and to not work, and to lie. You wanted to lie. Oh, they said a gay man kissed their son, and it caused Simpson to flip out. Why didn't he flip out on the gay man that kissed his son? I'ma punch you in the motherfucking face. I don't care who you is. If you kiss my son and I don't know you. Especially now with Corona, you can slap the shit out of female. I don't care who she is. If she's a grandmother, 70 years old, kiss your kid, I'll slap the shit out of her if I don't know her. OJ could have did that. He's OJ. Look at this Rolex right here on his wrist. She had it cut here, had it cut there. The kids are grown up, and it is what it is. This is how it ended. Do I believe OJ did it? Yes. But he warned her. He told her time and time and time and time again, get out my house. Get the fuck out of here. I've personally been there. I have begged my baby mama to leave. I have begged her to find a man. Any man. Put some of that wop on him. And that BAH. Put some of that wop and that ba on her. On him. That wah bop. That wop ba. Ba wop. Put the ba wop on him. I have begged her, but the problem is when you won't leave, it makes you madder and madder, 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 and madder. It makes you seriously upset. And that's the problem. You do stupid stuff when it just builds up over and over and over again. Fortunately, I had enough sense. But I've told y'all before, I seriously contemplated how I was gonna murder her. I seriously thought about how can I do this and get away with it. So it's not far-fetched to come home to the property on your property, a guest house on your property, where you paying the bills, and a woman you told to get up out of here is up in there with the waiter. He flipped out. He snapped. He couldn't take it anymore. I understand, OJ. That's why I'm behind you 100%. OJ's life matters. He's an icon. Him and Johnny Cochran, on how a black man, Johnny Cochran, helped another black man beat the system after killing a white woman and her lover. OJ Simpson is an icon. OJ Simpson needs to be worshipped. He needs to have a picture of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and OJ Simpson in the middle. It's all about OJ Simpson and what he was able to do. He is up there with Martin Luther King. It's Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and OJ Simpson. That's how it is. He did it. He got tired of this white woman, killed her and her lover. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Who cares? They tried to put OJ in jail and they couldn't do it. And that's why white people hate his guts to this day. That's why we need to love OJ, because for no other reason that it makes white people hysterically angry. I love OJ Simpson. There, I said it. I got me a... Remember when I told y'all, this is about my CBD pen. Remember when I first made that video? It was called I'm Lit in the Middle of the Night. And I was drinking and I had me some CBD oil. And I was hitting it and I was like, man, I don't need weed. This is beautiful. I love it. So I had it in this pen. But then they sold me something for $65 that came in this, which is e-juice. It's not oil. It's e-juice. It's vape juice. It's mixed in propylene glycol. This is the e-juice that cost me $65. You see how runny it is? You can't get nothing out of that. That's why it's in a nice dark bottle, but this is what it looks like. Like cloudy, rotten piss. This is CBD oil. You see how watery this is? Look at that. See how thick that is? It's barely moving, if at all. I had to heat this up to get it in here. Pour it in here. And I got it from, I thought it was coming from Oregon. Since it's legal to get it in Ohio, I can just order it online. But it got shipped from California. So this is what I have, but they don't sell it here in Ohio because for some reason they're scared. Because maybe this has too much THC in it or whatever. But either way, it's great. It's CBD. And it has the taste and the mouthfeel of herb. Hold on. Mm-hmm. This is the original Monster. I'm gonna try this. Oh, that is not good. Oh my God, that's horrible. Tastes like medicine. The other Monster is good, but that is horrible. It's a nice buzz though. It hit my brain receptors immediately. So even though it don't taste all that great, it's all right. So he won, that's what I'm saying. And the thing is, if you're dealing with a woman, and now let me say this. Women that have been molested or abused, it is not that woman when they were a girl or whatever. It is not the woman's fault that she was abused. It's the man's fault for abusing her, or the woman, and the person's mother or father, if they allowed it. Yes, then they get the right. But it is not on the victim whatsoever if she gets abused as a child. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's plenty wrong with it, but there's nothing, no blame is to go on the victim at all. However, there's a lot of problems that at my age I'm just too old to deal with. If you've been illegally and wrongfully scarred by that. When boys get abused, you know they have problems unless it was by a man or something. But if a boy gets abused, he's young and there's some older girl or older woman doing it, a lot of boys enjoy that. It didn't happen to me, but I would have enjoyed it. Only time I got found was when I was a kid, was when I was in first grade. Me and this one girl, I already told a story about we'd be coloring and go and drop our crayon and go under the table and diddle each other. But other than that, I was not touched as a child. But if there was an old woman giving me some head and playing with my balls when I was like 8, 9, 10 years old, I probably would have liked it. But when it happens to a woman, that's a violation. It's a violation too when it goes to a man. It is. It's a violation. But it's a serious, heinous violation when it happens to a woman. If you have those problems, man, there's just too many problems to overcome. So you men, you fathers, you gotta look out. You gotta look out for your kids. I look out for my kids. I ain't on it. I'm a fool. My kids ain't been touched, period. And ain't gonna be. Well, I'm sure my older one, she's 22, she probably been touched, but I damn sure believe, I damn sure know that she approved of any touching on her. She ain't having it. Last thing we gonna talk about. I talked about this before. About the dude who couldn't mind his business. What's his name? I can't remember. Price. His last name was Price. He was trying to break up a fight. Now it's inside the gas station. First they said it was outside the gas station. You see how stuff keeps going? He was trying to break up a fight inside the gas station before Wolf City police officer Sean Lucas showed up. But Lucas, who is white, ended up tasering Price and then fatally shooting him. Now look, this strong, good-looking young black man, and then look at this. Look at that. Fat, pasty white doughboy. He only big and strong because he was eating corn growing up. But he's still intimidated by this black man. Man, this stuff is hitting. He's intimidated by this black man and shoots him. But the thing is, this dude is 22 years old. Look here. You don't know nothing at 22 years old. Now, they let you be 18, be a soldier. If you're out being a soldier, then that's fine. 22 is too young to be out there by yourself. Just doing something like this. Just patrolling, being a 22-year-old with a badge and a gun. I'm 49, and I'd act a fool with a badge and a gun if you gave it to me right now. The only other kind of car you can drive around here and not be bothered is a taxi. If you have a yellow taxi, you can park anywhere. Be out getting your dick sucked, fucking in the back seat, you do whatever. Cops don't bother taxis, and cops don't bother other cops. Man, if I had a badge and a gun and I was out here in the hood, the middle of the night, I'd be out there getting high, fucking getting my dick sucked, extorting niggas, robbing niggas, slapping up white dudes because I felt like it. I'd be horrible. Can't do it. Plus, I'm too old to be a cop anyway, so I can say whatever I want. But anyway, this dude was intimidated about it. Somebody came in my comments on YouTube saying, he's a thug with a criminal history. Free the cop. Now, I draw some interesting people to my channel, depending on the search terms that I'm using. And I just said straight up, I said, please enlighten me on this criminal history of Jonathan Price. What's the criminal history? Somebody else chimed in and said, I too would like to know the criminal history. That they never came back with anything because he's not a thug. He's a pillar of the community with no criminal history. Which is another reason why he needed to mind his business. Because even though he was a pillar of the community, you get shot, somebody gonna call you a thug. Then walk your thug ass out of that gas station, get in your car and drive home. Now everybody in trouble for this. Except the white couple that was fighting. Has anybody said the names of the white couple that was fighting? That started the fight that he had to break up? Was there any mention of any arrests of either of these individuals from fighting? No. It's just one nigga dead. A cop in jail for murder because of protesting. And the couple walks off, went home and had some makeup sex. They probably had the best makeup sex ever. Like, we was fighting, man, a nigga died. We about to have some makeup sex. Went home, had some makeup sex, this nigga in the morgue. Because he couldn't mind his business. And this cracker is in jail. 22 years old, don't know nothing. Don't know nothing. Came into a situation, hey, and I ain't down with protecting cops, but the 22-year-old that don't know nothing comes in a situation that didn't need to be, because obviously the fight wasn't that important because nobody got arrested. So if you just left, nothing would have happened. He wouldn't be in jail for murder. The nigga wouldn't be dead. Man, this monster's it's kind of growing on me. Wouldn't be dead. It's crazy. The world gives you a warning. Past history and past actions let you know what's going to happen in the future. So that's it. Oh. And y'all bitch ass niggas talking about Tory Lanez. Nobody. See, the thing is, if you think don't get mad at white people for trying to skew a way of how they gonna get their boy off. When it's a black person shooting, you skewing a way to get your boy off. You doing the same thing the white folks doing. Trying to explain how a woman got shot in her foot and ended up bleeding from it. Now he's finally charged. Maybe he probably didn't get charged earlier, because if you have a record label behind him with an album that he's about to drop, he can't be charged. So you know they fought it off with lawyers and trying to spin and everything. And niggas fell for it hook, line, and sinker, talking about how she get shot with no bones broken. What if they were fighting for the gun? And What if he was just set up? This nigga is trying to tell you that he was set up by the Illuminati. The Illuminati put that bullet shrapnel in her foot in order to set him up. Some nigga that I've never heard of until he shot her. If you got a problem with a woman and it gets to the point where you gotta shoot her, strangle her, when it gets to that point, you need to know when you're headed there. When OJ Simpson kept telling her to get up out of his house, he knew he was headed there. When I was dealing with it with my baby mom, I know I wasn't headed there into killing her because I after working out every possible scenario in my mind, I couldn't come up with a way that I could get away with it. I came to the point of realization that, look, I just got to deal with it until I'm grown. To hell with my blood pressure and happiness and health and whatever. But it was come to a point where, no, I wouldn't have killed her, but it would have come to a point where I would have just keeled over from a stroke or heart attack and died if I didn't get away, if she didn't get the fuck out. And she would never do it, so I had to leave. That's why I'm sitting up here in my mama's basement. I had to leave because she would never, ever, ever leave. Now she got her place. I got my place, and I'm chilling, and my parents are elderly, and I'm enjoying being here, and my daughter's enjoying being here. I'm enjoying it. You know how bad I would have felt. My parents sat up there, and then they would have gotten old and died, and I would have still been over there fucking with her, telling her to get up and go to work. Fuck out of here. I rolled, I bounced. I bounced out of there. I'm watching a new series on, well, it's not new. What I'm watching now on Netflix is called Wentworth. Wentworth. It's kind of like the British version of Orange and the New Black, but it's way better than Orange and the New Black, and it makes Orange and the New Black look like it's some clown shit. But I like Wentworth. I'm on season 2. That's what I'm watching now. My Cash App's still available. My PayPal's still available. All that, my Patreon can be found where you can get the exclusive content. You know, I can't put the... Hold on. I can't play... Now y'all fucking with me. Well, I'll figure that out later. It should be working, but it ain't right now. But they just fucking with me. Anyway, you can watch the video. And it'll be all good. Give me a call at 330-536-3706. Yeah, he shot at Megan Thee Stallion Michael's workshop. You know, but go to MrNoGood.com. You can find everything there. Within a couple weeks, my product will be going live. And y'all gonna love it. Just wait. Can't wait to reveal it to y'all. So get your wallets out. And this is your #1 baby daddy, MrNoGood.